So I'm seeing a lot of deliberation and a lot of chatter around Ian Garry and Islam Makhachev, and specifically surrounding their height. We've seen the two men face off, and it looks like the supposed 5'10 Islam Makhachev is only about an inch or two shorter than Ian Garry, who's listed at 6'3". So I thought in this video I would try and break down and analyze and figure out how tall Ian Garry actually is and why height in the UFC really does not make any sense. And the fucking person that's measuring the heights, like, is seriously just fucking stoned out of their mind and just takes a guess at it, because time and time again do we see constant height discrepancies in the UFC. You look at photos of Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry. They did a recent face-off, and people have been talking about this one specifically. Islam looks pretty tall. He does. He looks pretty tall. And Ian does not look a 6'3" man. He doesn't. He doesn't look a 6'3" man. You know, maybe all that sitting in the corner, in the cuck chair, watching, jacking off as his wife's getting raw dogged by the nutritionist. Maybe all of that has compressed his spine a little bit. Maybe the vegan diet, the pea slop that he's been chowing down on for years has kind of caused the vertebrae in his spine to compress, to shrink down, and it's made him shorter. It's made him weaker, no doubt. You know, maybe that's part of it. But I do think, and the answer is you're probably not gonna like it, but Islam's tiptoe maxing out here. Looks maxing. Islam Makhachev is out here tiptoe maxing against the boy Ian Garry, rather. I think it's the shoes, to be honest with you. He's got the height boosters in. He's trying to mog. He's trying to high max. Trying to get that low tier Becky, if you know what I'm saying. He's already got one at home, so why not have another one in fucking Philadelphia? May as well. Let's go, Islam. I think, truthfully, it's the shoes. You can see the sports shoes that Islam is wearing. All jokes aside, I think he's wearing these sports shoes that have these thick sole, these thick soles, and that's what's making him look taller. Ian, if you look at the shoes he's wearing flats, so they don't really provide much height whatsoever. I think it's the shoes. But I do not think that Ian Garry is 6'3". I think Islam is around 5'10". I think he is actually 5'10". I think Ian is about 6'1", because you see Ian facing off against Shavkat, who's allegedly 6'1", and they look the same fucking height. UFC heights make no sense. It make no sense, goddamn. It make no sense. Like, legit. You see guys like Conor McGregor, he's out here next to light heavyweight Rampage Jackson, and he's looking fucking huge. You see Kamaru Usman next to Jan Blachowicz, and they look the same size. Dricus against Adesanya, and Dricus looks about the same height as Adesanya. And then you see Adesanya next to Pereira, he looks the same height as Pereira. Pereira next to Gane, he looks the same size as Gane. Gane's 6'5", Adesanya's 6'3", Dricus is like 6 foot. You're comparing all these things, and they look the same fucking height. It's like craziness out here. You see Alex next to Tyson fucking Fury, who's allegedly 6'9", and Alex looks about the same size as him. So we're constantly seeing these height difference stats being inflated, being deflated, and it really does not make any sense whatsoever, the heights in the UFC. We need that different Asian guy. We need that Asian guy who fucking does the height analysis to figure out how tall Ian Garry truly is. But I think he's 6'1", and I think the height difference, I think the size difference, I think the reach difference is not going to be that much for Islam Makhachev to overcome. It's so hard to bet on fights. It's so hard to break down fights, because truly anything can happen. I thought for sure that Ilia Topuria would chin Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje goes out there and looks absolutely phenomenal against him. You literally cannot bet on fights, but I am relatively confident, and I'm saying this conservatively, that the height difference between the two men, that the size difference between the two men is not enough for Islam to lose. I think Islam is going to style on Ian Garry. And I don't even think the height, the size, I don't think the difference is too crazy between the two men. I truly don't think that. I think Ian Garry is going to lose, and I think he's going to get submitted. I think the long neck of Ian Garry, the long legs of Ian Garry is prime for Islam to just take him down and do whatever he needs to do with him. I truly do believe that. I think it's relatively easy for Islam. It's light work. It's going to be light work for him in that octagon on Saturday night. But you never know. It's the year of the underdog, and Ian Garry has a legit chance. But the height just makes no sense. But I don't think it's going to matter anyway. Islam does well against tall opponents. And Ian's not that good at, submission defense. He's been working with shoot the box for sure. But, Shavkat took him down. Shavkat looked really good against him. And that was Shavkat with a dodgy knee. People forget that knee injury that Shavkat had. He had going into that fight. It's not as if Ian caused it with his little pussy-ass 3 oblique kicks that he threw in that fight. Shavkat had that injury going in, and he made relatively light work of Ian. That submission attempt that everyone likes to talk about wasn't really in that close. It wasn't in that far. And Shavkat did exceptionally well against him. So I think Ian is going to have a similar issue against Islam. Every time he's faced an elite grappler, which is maybe one time in his entire career, Shavkat, he's been exposed. Michael Venom Page fucking took him down, right? I'm pretty sure. Obviously, it was momentarily, and he probably wasn't expecting it, but it still happened. This is Islam Makhachev, the greatest pound-for-pound fighter, maybe of all time. The height difference, the read difference is not going to make much of a difference. Islam is going to get it done, and he's going to get it done in relatively easy fashion. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and let me know how tall you truly think these guys are. The guys who are doing the fucking UFC height, the stats, the measurements, they are fucking smoking trees, because it makes no sense. It literally makes no sense how you can have a guy who's 6'3", and I know posture and angles make a difference, but a guy who's 6'3" against a guy who's 5'10", not even 5'11", 5'10", allegedly, and have the difference be that crazy, have the difference look that insane. But it's not going to matter anyway. Islam's going to get it done. Bet the fucking house on it. He's a good fighter, right? He is a good fighter, and as much as we like to joke about it, nutrition is, it's funny, right? It is true, a lot of it. As much as he's an insufferable douchebag, he's an exceptionally good fighter. And if Islam gets it done, which I'm predicting he will, this is one of the greatest wins of Islam's career. I put it up there with Volkanovski because Ian Garry will be champion one day. Mark my words, he's 28 years old. He's beaten everyone. He's got a win over Carlos Prates. He's the only man in the UFC to defeat Carlos Prates. He's got a win over Belal Muhammad. I know that's not aging the best right now, but I think he could beat JDM. I think he could beat Gabriel Bonfim. I think he can beat Michael Morales. All these guys. I would even potentially favor him in a rematch against Shavkat. I really would. I think he has a good chance against all of these guys, does Ian Garry. And he will be champ once Islam retires, because Islam's 34. He's going to be 35 soon. He's only got maximum 2 years left in the sport. I think once he retires, this is Ian Garry's division, and it's his division to rule. So if Islam can beat him, it's an all-time win, and it's up there with Volkanovski, because I think Ian is going to go on a run after this loss. And it's an all-time win for Islam Makhachev. It just makes his career, his legacy, all that much better. And people better start putting some respect on his name, because as much as I have rooted for his opponents in the past, Islam Makhachev is constantly proving me wrong, and he is constantly doing exceptionally well against the best fighters in the world. One word, brother, best fighter in the world. Islam Makhachev is going to get it done. The height difference doesn't make a lick of a difference in this fight. Islam's going to get it done. And to be honest with you, they look the fucking similar height. Maybe it's the shoes. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you boys in the next one. Let me know who you think is taller and by how much. Let me know the official height stats. Drop them in the comments below. I'll see you boys in the next one. Much love.